Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Yes, where did we stop last day? Quickly tell.
Yes. Last homework period 15.3. Question Q, S, and T.
First question, Q, S, and P. 1 second. Let me open the textbook. Just checking. Did we finish parallelograms 1? I think we discussed the theorems, no? No
Yes,
worry.
yes.
Okay. Sorry?
We couldn't finish the movie. We only discussed the properties, but we couldn't finish the movie.
Okay, okay, wait 1 second. Let me let's discuss the homework anyways, first of all. Mm. 1 second. All right, got it. So 15.3 QST and 16.1, 6 and 7. Okay. Did you all do the homework first of all?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let me get the question to the whiteboard. Let me give me a second now. I will switch on the camera, but give me a second. 15.3 QST. Okay. So 15.3 Q. Now these are all quadratic equations that you have to solve. All right. First one is Q. Okay. Let's first discuss Q. Q will be 2x minus 3 squared equals 0. So Q means 2x minus 3 squared. Please don't move the whiteboard, Lamai. Equals 0. Okay, how would we do something like this, Lamai? How do we do something like this? How did you do this when you were doing homework? Yes? What are the first step, Pekka? Quickly tell. What is the first step? Give me a thumbs up if you did the homework, first of all. Did you all do this homework? Okay. Then how do we do this? How did you all do this? So there are two methods to do this, right? So 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3 squared is equal to 0, right? So that means 2x minus 3 equals 0. So when these two get multiplied, it's 0 means one of these is 0. So that means 2x minus 3 is 0 or 2x minus 3 is 0. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. So we can say 2x equals minus 3 plus 3. Or here also the same thing. plus 3 වෙනවා. Divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. 2 cancel වෙලා x equals 3 divided by 2 1.5 or x equals 3 divided by 2 1.5. So here we are getting the same answer නේ. O කියලා එන්නේ එකම answer එක. ඒකයි මේක මෙහෙම කරන්න නැතුව we can do something like this. Because it's a square, we can do something like this. One second. Okay. What we're doing is I'm going to move this square to the other side. 2x minus 3 මෙතන තියලා මේ square එක අනිත් පැත්තට ගෙනියනවා. අනිත් පැත්තට ගෙනියච්චාම it becomes square root. 0 ගේ square root එක 0ම තමයි, right? Then 2x minus 3 අනිත් පැත්තට ගියාම plus 3 වෙනවා. Divide both sides by 2. 2 cancel වෙලා we get 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Is this clear? Is this clear to all of you, lamai? Okay. Then the next one is S. Next one is S. ඒකේ තියෙනවා x minus 1, x minus 2 equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So we know in a quadratic equation, always on one side there has to be 0. Yes, second method එකේ ශ්වේතා අරකේ අපිට එකම එකනේ එන්නේ. එහෙම දැන් මේ වගේ square එකක් තියෙන එකක් ආවොත් because we know 2x minus 3 squared means 2x minus 3 multiplied by 2x minus 3 equals 0. So එතකොට දෙන්නම එකම එක තමයි එන්නේ. ඒ වගේ instance එකක ඔයාලට වැඩි එච්චර ලොකුවට steps යන්න නැතුව you can just simply this square when you move it to other side it becomes square root, right? So මේ පැත්තේ square එක මේ පැත්තට ගෙනිච්චාම it becomes square root and here we have 2x minus 3. Then 2x minus 3 and here square root of 0 is still 0, right? Then this minus 3 I bring to other side, it becomes plus 3. Yes. So 2x equals plus 3 means when you divide both sides by 2, we get x equals 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5. Then if you look at S, the make we know that equation එක පැත්තක් 0 වෙන්නම ඕනේ. Okay, so what happens is then it's just a lot of algebraic terms, a lot of like numbers, and it's not very clear. මම මොකද කරන්නේ? First step එක I simplify. මෙතන තියෙනවානේ product of two binomial expressions, right? I'm going to simplify this. X times x is x squared. Minus 1 times x is minus 1x. X times minus 2 is minus 2x. Minus 1 times minus 2 is plus 2. Equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Now, what I'm going to do is here x squared. I can further simplify. Minus 1x minus 2x is minus 3x plus 2. Equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Then mom may අනිත් පැත්තට move කරනවා because you know in a quadratic equation one side has to be 0, right? So then මෙතන 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 තියෙනවා. This x squared when I bring it to other side it becomes minus x squared. This minus 3x when I bring it to other side it becomes plus 3x. This plus 2, when I bring it to other side, it becomes minus 2. So there will be nothing on this side. It's 0. Okay. Now, I the thing is, lamai, metana dinone 2x squared. May x squared, may pataraham, it becomes minus x squared. So 2x squared minus x squared will be x squared. Habai, මම මේ පැත්තේ තියෙන ටික මෙහෙට අරන් ගියොත් මෙතන already x squared තියෙනවා. මේ 2x squared මම මේ පැත්තට අරන් ගියාම minus 2x squared වෙනවා. x squared minus 2x squared would be minus x squared. සාමාන්‍ය x squared එක ඉස්සර අපි minus පුළුවන් තරම් avoid කරන්න තමයි හදන්නේ. We try our best to avoid. That's why මේ පැත්තේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම මේ පැත්තට move කරේ. Then we don't have that problem. Okay. So 0. Balanna 2x squared minus x squared means plus x squared. Okay. Then minus 3x plus 3x cancel then. And minus 3x plus 3x. So they get cancelled. So that's 0. Then minus 2 is minus 4. Just so it's more nicer. X squared minus 4 equals 0. Now what is the next step here? Now what is the next step here? There are two methods, right? The first method is x squared minus 4 equals 0. This minus 4, you bring it to the other side, it becomes plus 4. Then x means square it becomes square root, right? 4 is square root. And we know 4 square root can be plus or minus, right? Because minus 2 is also 4. Plus 2 is also 4. Then 4 square root plus 2 minus 2 So x equals 4 square root 2. So that means x equals plus 2 or x equals minus 2. Did you all understand this method? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Anik පැත්ත තමයි x squared minus 4 කියන්නේ difference of two squares. So I can open two brackets and write it like x squared xx 4 කියන්නේ 2 squared නේ. So 2 එකකට plus දැම්මා අනිත් එකට minus දැම්මා equals 0. So when you multiply it becomes 0. So x plus 2 equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0. Then plus 2 when I bring it to other side, it becomes minus 2. Or minus 2 when I bring it to the other side, it becomes plus 2. So they both give the same answer anyways. Is this clear to all of you, Lamai? Give me a thumbs up, please. Okay, Ismail, Basma, all good? Okay, I will give you 2 minutes for recorrections. Make it fast. And then we have to discuss T, right? Muli medega recorrections then we'll discuss T. Okay, am I done? Done doing the recorrections? Okay, then let's move on to T. Okay. So now there's a problem with T. This is not something we are very familiar with. Why? Because there are two fractions. Okay, so what would be the first step that you would take here? Ogala mukada karapu first step, I would like to hear your answers. What is the first step you took here? X plus 3 over 2, 3x plus 2 over x. Okay, then lag because some of you texted messaged that I was lagging. I changed my location. I think now it will be okay. Okay, so T. X plus 3 over 2, 3x plus 2 over x. X plus 3 over 2 equals 3x plus 2 over x. All right. Now, when there are two fractions on either side of an equal sign, what we do is we do cross multiplication. That means මෙයාව මෙයා එක multiply කරනවා මෙයාව මෙයා එක multiply කරනවා. Right? So let's try to do that. So here x multiplied by x plus 3, 2 multiplied by 3x plus 2. Okay. So x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x. Equals 2 times 3x is 6x, 2 times 2 is 4. Now for a quadratic equation, one side has to be 0. You know, ඔක්කොම ටිකම එක පැත්තකට move කරනවා. දැන් මෙතන already x squared තියෙනවා plus 3x. This 6x when I bring to this side, it becomes minus 6x. Then this 4 when I bring it to other side, it becomes minus 4. Equals 0, right? So x squared plus 3x minus 6x කියලා කියන්නේ minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. Now we have to factorize this. Then factorize we already know, so I will not teach you this part again. How do we factorize? X squared minus 1x, let's say minus 3x minus 1. No. 1 second. X plus 3 square, x plus x squared plus 3x. And here we got 3 times 6x and 4, right? And then we got x plus 3x, then here 6x plus 4, and we moved 6x and 4 to other side, they became minus. Plus 3x minus 6x is minus 3x minus 4. Okay. So now how do we factorize this? So මෙතන බලන්න මෙහෙමද ඔයගලන්ට ආවේ කියලා. Plus 1x minus 4x minus 4 equals 0. මේ පළවෙනි දෙන්න ගත්තොත් x is common, so it's x plus 1. Then මේ දෙන්න ගත්තොත් minus 4 is common, so x plus 1 equals 0. So x plus 1, x minus 4 equals 0. These two brackets equal 0 means then again එක bracket එකක් හරි අනිවාර්යෙන් 0. So that means x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 4 equals 0. And then when I move this 1 to the other side, it becomes x equals minus 1 or x equals 4. Is this clear to all of you, Labai? Give me a thumbs up, please. Okay, I think this is not that difficult. Algebraic fractions you know, you tend to feel a little intimidated because it looks a little difficult. But it's not really that difficult. Godak velavata maths vela, when you get a question, don't panic. The moment you panic, you will forget whatever you know. So without panicking, mulim mendone mindset එක, okay, it's okay. I know this. I have learned this. I went to classes. I went to school. So I know this. මට මොකක් හරි මේක කරගන්න පුළුවන් කියන mindset එකෙන් I can do it කියන mindset එකෙන් තමයි you have to try doing these questions. You have no idea how big of a role psychology plays in your maths paper. Eka then for so long, for 6-7 years, I've been observing this in children, that especially maths වල මම මේ ඔක්කොම කියන්නේ from the past experience ගොඩක් මම ළමයික දැන් මම තනකර online shift වෙලා හිටියට there was a time when I did online and physical both, and then there was a time when I did physical. So during those all those times, and even now when I have completely switched to online, even then I have, like, I try to maintain close relationships with children, with y'all, right, with students, to like talk to you, you can talk to me, and then I check on you, right? Godak වෙලාවට ඔයගොල්ලන් හිතන්නේ නැති වුණාට I get an idea about you, right? Even though I may not have seen you in real life or even in a photo. So එතකොට ඒවත් එක්ක ගොඩක් මම ළමයින්ගේ දේවල් notice කරලා තියෙනවා. එහෙම notice කරපු ලොකු එකක් තමයි maths වල, especially when it comes to geometry questions. මම මේක ගොඩක් I noticed this pattern when I was doing geometry questions with students, and based on what they have told me also. So as soon as you see a geometry question, if you panic, let's say ඔයා හැම classes cut කරපු එහෙම නරක ළමෙක් නෙවෙයි. ඔයා හොඳට classes උත් ගිහිල්ලා ඔක්කොම it's okay සෙනුදී. ඔයා classes උත් ගිහිල්ලා ගානට වැඩ ටික කරගත්ත කෙනෙක්, but even then you struggle. Right? That means you know the knowledge, but you don't have the practice. As soon as you see a geometry question, you don't panic. The moment you panic, you forget everything. Because geometry is all about looking and seeing. ප්‍රශ්න දැකලා ඒක දිහා බලලා and then theorems වලට පේන්න ඕනේ. මේක මෙහෙම වෙනවා, මේක මෙහෙම කොට පේන්න ඕනේ. That's very important. But when you're panicking, ඔයාගේ mind එක හරි කලබලයි. You're very flustered. Right? එහෙම වුණාම ඔයාට ඒ දේවල් පේන්නේ නැහැ. This is a real psychology. I'm not even kidding. Okay? So maths වල main දෙයක් තමයි maintaining a calm mindset. So when you see a question like this, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you didn't panic, but I'm just saying, because they make a miscellaneous exercise, okay? Last question. Okay? Those questions tend to be a little difficult, even in the future. When you come across a difficult question, ekapaatam initially put a panic way, but then calm down. Okay, I can do this. I'm going to somehow figure it out. Because what a final answer kaave na that at least for the steps you will get marks. Okay, so I can do this kind of mindset again. I know this. I will figure it out. That's the mindset that you need to have. Because if you look at this T question, even though initially there are like two algebraic fractions, there's an equal sign at the middle. A cross multiplication step. After that, it's so, I mean, I wouldn't say it's so easy, but it's quite manageable, right? Okay, so I will give you like 1 minute for recorrections. Make it fast. I think next homework is on parallelograms, no? Okay, quickly do this. Okay, Lamai, I think that's enough time. Parallelograms wala 16.1, 6 and 7. $16.1, 6 and 7. All right, great. Make it Lamai. Geometry, parallelograms. Did you all do the homework? Give me a thumbs up if you did. Didn't you all do the homework? Senudi Kerala. What about others? Okay, not bad. Basma, Jevindu, Shweta. Okay. Based on the information in the figure, write down two sides which are equal in length to DC. So this is DC. Okay, make an because okay, so if you look at DC, DC to okay, so here this is one parallelogram, right? And we know in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal, right? Equal, opposite angles are equal, all that. Therefore, we know DC is equal to EF because this is a parallelogram and they're opposite sides. So we can say DC is equal to EF. What is the reason? We always have to write a reason. Opposite sides of a parallelogram. 1 second. Okay. Then, hari, then එක පැත්තකින් තියලා look at this. This is also a parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel, so it's a parallelogram. And we know in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Therefore, EF is equal to AB. Right? EF is equal to AB. And what is the reason again? Opposite sides of a parallelogram. DC is equal to EF, EF is equal to AB. DC is automatically equal to AB also, right? DC equal to EF, EF equal to AB means DC is also equal to AB. එහෙනම් මොනවාද DC equal sides දෙකක් එකක් EF අනිත් එක නා AB. Okay? So that's Roman number 1. Roman number 2. Let me erase this. Find the magnitudes of angles denoted by X, Y, Z. Okay. X is here, Y is here, Z is here. What is the value of X? What is the value of X? Sorry?
120 degrees, teacher.
120, correct. Why? Because this side and this side are parallel. Therefore, these are allied angles. Allied angles can be C-shaped angles. So when you add, they become 180. So X plus 60 equals 180. That means we write allied angles between parallel lines. That's our reason. Therefore, X equals 180 minus 60, which means X equals 120. Then X, no problem. X is 120. What about Y? How do we find Y? කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලන් Y හෙව්වේ කියන්න බෑ? Okay, Basma has an answer. What about others? Okay. බලන්න මෙතන these two are parallel. Therefore, මෙයයි 30 angles නේද? එතකොට මට AEF ගේ value එක හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. I can get the value of AEF, right? So AEF plus 50 is 180. AEF plus 50 equals 180. Again, may same reason. Allied angles between parallel lines. So AEF equals 180. This 50, when you bring it to other side, it becomes minus 50. So AEF equals 180 minus 50, that is 130. Okay. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් මේ x වත් දන්නවා මෙතනත් 130 නම් මට y හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. Why? Because angles around a point. So I can write x plus AEF plus y equals 360. Y angles around a point. X we already found as 120. AEF we found as 130. And y we don't know yet. So y equals 360 minus 120 plus 130 kyanne 250. So 360 minus 250, that would be 110. So that is the value of y. Is this clear to all of you? Perfect. Now we have to find z. Z nang hoyanna lazy. Why? Because මෙයා 60 degrees නම් මෙයාත් 60 degrees නේ, because in a parallelogram opposite angles are equal. So මේ මුළු එක 90 degrees, මෙයා 60 degrees නම් this part would be 30, right? So that's how we get that. So let me show you. මෙයාට කියන්නේ EDC නේ, මෙන්න මේ angle එක EDC. So I will write it like this. EDC is equal to 60 degrees. We can write opposite angles of a parallelogram. Then we know Z plus this 60 is 90. එතන right angle එකක් තියෙනවානේ. Therefore, Z equals 90 minus 60, which means 30 degrees. Is this clear to all of you? Give me a thumbs up, please. Others? Others? Okay, great. I'll give you 2 minutes for recorrections. Quickly make it done so that we can do 7th. Anitaka 7. Quickly. Okay, Lamai. I think that's enough time. Shall we move on to 7th question? Let me get the question to the whiteboard. The figure depicts two parallelograms A, B, C, D. Second. And A, D, F, E, according to the information given in the figure. A, B, C, D. Yes, we do have it here. A, B, C, D. I කවුද ඉන්නවා කියන්නේ A, D, F, E. Yes, that's another parallelogram. Okay, we can see the two parallelograms. Find the length BC. Okay, Lamai, so that is not very difficult because now this is a parallelogram we can clearly see. And if this is 5 centimeters, BC will obviously be 5 centimeters. So let's write it. BC equals 5 centimeters. That's straight away right. Opposite sides of, we'll write like this. First, we'll write BC equals AD. Since BC is equal to AD, BC is 5 centimeters because AD is 5 centimeters. So reason is opposite sides of a parallelogram. Then Roman number 2. Find the magnitudes of each of the angles CFD. CFD can mean මෙයා. ADC. ADC can mean මෙයා. And ECD can mean මෙයා. Hari, okay. මුලින්ම අපෙන් අහන්නේ CFD නේ. Okay, what is the value of CFD? This is not very difficult. What is the value of CFD? What is the value of CFD? Can you all see parallelogram scalator damu? You can see an equilateral triangle here. Just by looking at parallelograms, we will never be able to get the answer. However, this is an equilateral triangle. What is the interior angle in an equilateral triangle? What is the interior angle in an equilateral triangle, Lamai? Anybody?
60.
Yes, it's 60. So always, if it's an equilateral triangle, the interior angle is 60. If it's a square, interior angle is 90. So why all right? So we can straight away say CFD is 60 degrees. And for the reason I will write it properly, saying that it's an interior angle of an equilateral triangle. For angles, you can use the angle sign. For triangles, you can use the triangle sign in reasons. When I'm typing, I can't use those symbols. But you can use the symbols. Then ADC. Where is AC? ADC. ADC minne metana. Now, how do I get ADC? How do I get ADC?
The sum of opposite interior angles equals to the exterior angle.
Opposite. There's no exterior angle, right? Which one is exterior angle?
That is an exterior angle, right?
Which
ADC.
one is exterior? A?
DC.
ADC is not an exterior angle. May exterior angle if it was something like this. Exterior angle is produced always when a side of a triangle is extended. Metana meya extend it's just a different side. So we could produce an exterior angle if this was extended like this, then this would have been an exterior angle. If this was extended like this would have been an exterior angle. If this was extended like this, if this was extended like this would have been an exterior angle. So exterior angle is always formed when one side of a triangle is extended. But this is, this is an exterior angle now. Yeah, we can take as an exterior angle, but this is not. Is that clear, Basma?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. So there are different multiple ways we can get this actually. Mama ඔක්කොම ටික කියන්නම්. We can write one method. One is, this is an equilateral triangle, right? In an equilateral triangle, all the interior angles are 60 degrees. That means this is also 60 degrees. And we know that this is alternate angles between parallel lines. So this will also be 60 degrees. ඒකෙන් ඔයාට ගන්න පුළුවන් ADC is 60 degrees කියලා. Was that clear to you? Was that clear? Others? තේරුණාද ඒක? What about others? Okay, great. Then there's another way. That is, now මෙතනක් තියෙනවනේ equilateral triangle එකක්. There is also an equilateral triangle, means this angle is also 60 degrees. And we know this is a parallelogram. Therefore, these are opposite angles, and we know in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. From that also, you can get that ADC is 60 degrees. So whatever the method you use, it doesn't really matter. Mamare alternate angles use karana. I will use alternate angles method. You can use any other method that you prefer. Okay. So first I will write that this is 60 degrees. DCF, 60 degrees. DCF is 60 degrees because of the same reason as this. And we know that ADC, which is what they're asking us to find, ADC is equal to DCF. Why? Because these are alternate angles between parallel lines. Since DCF is 60, we can say ADC is also 60 degrees. This is how we get that. All right. Lastly, ECD. එයාවත් ලේසියිනේ. දැන් මෙයා 60 කියලා අපි දන්නවා නම් we know we want to find this, no? This is C shape. C shape means allied angles. Allied angles we know when you add it will become 180. මම යාම මෙතන පෙන්න. Shall I show it? I'll just show it here. No worries. I will just write ECD plus ECD කියන්නේ මෙයා. ADC කියන්නේ මෙයා. ADC equals 180 degrees. Why? Allied angles between parallel lines. Now ADC, I already know that is 60 degrees equals 180. Therefore, ECD equals 180 minus 60 degrees. So ECD would be 120 degrees. Is this clear to you? Okay, that's great. For recorrections, I will give you all, make it 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, then I comment recorrections karanna. Then we'll move on to today's section. While you write this, give me a minute, Lamai. Okay, Lamai. I think that is enough time. We can move on to today's section. So before that, last week up in Navatwe Haryatama, we were learning about theorem 1 and 2. And we drew a diagram. That is where we have stopped, right? So let's do a question because now you already have the knowledge. Our diagonals bisect වෙන එක මම එදා කියා දුන්නා. So now you have the knowledge. So let's, can you all move to exercise 16.2? Hmm. Second එක, no, first එක මුලින් කරලෙමු අපි. Can you all first try the 16.2 first one? We'll try one or two questions from this exercise and then we can move on. But questions අනිවාර්යෙන් කරන්න ඕනේනේ. First එක try කරන්න, second එක will be a little difficult for the first question. Again, මුලින්ම කරන එකට second එක will be difficult. But yeah, do the first one. This exercise 16.2. Okay. Quickly do this, Tamar. Excuse me. If you have any questions, you can ask. Huh? Are y'all doing, Lami? If you all finished, let me know. I didn't set a timer for this question, but yes, please let me know if you finish. Okay, Lamai. I think this is enough time. Did you all get the answers? Did you all work it out? Give me a thumbs up if you have finished. Okay, then let's discuss. In the parallelogram ABCD, the midpoint of BC is E. DE and AB produce, then DE will produce color, AB will produce color, they meet at Q. Okay. The midpoint of B, 1 second, one second. Okay. So midpoint of BC is E. That means this small part and this small part, they are equal. That means the BE part and EC part, they are equal. D and AB produce meet at Q. Prove that AB is equal to BQ. So this is what we have to prove. How do we do this now? Based on what we have learned. Based on what we have learned, how would you do this? Hmm? Cool. I'm going to wait until you tell me how you did this. I want to see if you actually did this. Hmm? How would we get this answer? ඔගලන් හරි answer ගත්තේ නැතිවට කමන්නේ, just tell me the ways you tried this. It's okay whether your answer is correct or wrong. Because even though this is the first question, it's a little challenging. Samhara vita you may not have gotten the answer, but any paths or any ways that you used. DCE equals EBQ alternate angles. Hari. Okay, yes. That could be a good starting point. May I equal, because they are alternate angles between parallel lines. Okay. Anything else? DEC equals BEQ vertically opposite angles. May I equals vertically opposite angles. Okay. Anything else? And we know this side and this side are equal because it's given. Midpoint කියලා දීලානේ තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් අපිට ලේසිම කරන්න පුළුවන් වැඩක් තමයි we can make these little two triangles congruent. If we make them congruent, we can say that this is equal to this. Why? Because corresponding sides of congruent triangles. අපි මුලින් එතනින් පටන් ගමුද? We'll start from there and then we'll move on. 1 second. So the two triangles we are considering, එකක් මේක, අනිත් එක මේක. Okay. So I will put the topics of the two triangles. DCE